I was raised Catholic. Went to church every Sunday. I was in a Bible group every Wednesday because my mom wanted me to do so. It was more of like a family thing. To me, it seemed kind of more like a chore. I just, growing up as a teenager, a little rebellious, I just never really practiced it as much as I should have. I joined the Coast Guard in 2017. It's a very rough job. It's 18-hour days. And then especially with some of the people in my life at that time weren't the best influence for me either. The bad behavior in the military transferred to home life as well. And having a motorcycle and riding with all these other guys, they would do the same thing. Along with heavy alcohol usage in the military, depression's also a very common thing, same with anxiety. I think also back then I was struggling to find my identity and who I was. I would go out and say, I'm gonna have fun. If I don't show up to work tomorrow or something happens to me, it's okay. Cause I didn't really have any plans for the future. I think it was like 11 o'clock at night. I said, hey man, feeling kind of restless. Do you wanna get out for a late night ride? Late November, weather was perfect, clear sky, just beautiful. The last thing I remembered from that night was filling up my gas tank. I looked over at him, we nodded at each other, and then we took off. I blinked and I was in a hospital bed with the nurse at the end saying, sir, you've been in an accident. The doctor came in and he put his hand over my foot and he said, do you feel this at all? And I said, no. And he gave me this look like, we don't know if you're gonna walk again. Everything down spiraled at that point. It was kind of the fear of the unknown. I have nothing. I'm at an all-time low. I physically can't do anything for myself. At the time, I knew I did it to myself. I almost felt like I deserved this, like this was a punishment for all the bad stuff I did in my life. I called my mom. Within 12 hours, she was by my bedside. I honestly can't remember everything going through my head, but really what stuck out to me, and especially with my mom being there, it was like God was all I had. I just prayed, because that's all I could do. He was all that I had to get me better, and he was always there. And I really do think that night that it was him that saved me. They had to drill 7 screws into my hips and back, holding me together. I went from wheelchair to a walker to crutches to a cane, and then finally I was able to stand on 2 feet. And it was probably a little over a year for recovery. After all the injuries healed, and it always stood at the back of my mind that God, He gave me this amazing second chance that not a lot of people would have had. Once I did learn to walk again, I discovered 1122. A couple of my friends brought me here, and I went to the first service, and I listened to Pastor Joby, and it just clicked with me. I could understand it easier. I felt moved by the music, and it just felt like such a nice community. I think the biggest thing with freedom pertaining to Jesus is he makes the simple things in life that much better. He makes going outside just a blessing. It's just simple things that He's given me that I will never take for granted anymore. Going outside, going golfing, going fishing, just having friends around, just knowing that He's given me everything back that I don't think I ever could have without Him.